Welcome back to Warrior Wisdom. And today I have some real cool knowledge that it's gonna help you in your business, gonna help you in your life. And I believe it's the one success factor that you need to win in your business and your life. If you have it, awesome. If you don't, we got to get it for you today. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, put a 1 in the comments below. What is this thing that you absolutely need to succeed? Well, I was out this last weekend at the largest team-based men's retreat conference in the world. 3,000 men. It's a Christian conference coming together. We're camping out. We're doing guy stuff. Maybe it's TMI, but, guys being guys, no one's showering. Everyone just out by the campfire. Everyone's doing, bro stuff. We're shooting guns, BB guns. We're doing field events. Tons of worship sermons, amazing things that were going on. But I learned a lot because when it comes to being a warrior, it's important to have visuals. It's important to have examples. And one thing that I've realized is especially in our generation today, the idea of being a warrior is lost. The idea of true proper strength is lost. Whether it's being overpowered and dominating people, or it's being underpowered and being super docile, there's this kind of dichotomy of what strength really, really looks like. And we lose that. So it was beautiful to see in this event examples of what a warrior is. And one of the highlights of our weekend, it wasn't seeing, we had pastors come out that had been preaching for 70 years that have impacted millions of lives. I mean, these are like crazy people. There are incredible people that are at this event. Mr. Olympia winners, like you talk about it, like it's just incredible. The highlight of my weekend was not any one of these mighty men. It was actually a 14-year-old guy named Hunter. And it was incredible because at the last day, there was this event that they called the Rite of Passage. And what you do is these 12 to 17-year-olds go through this 3-mile obstacle course. So imagine you're out there running, and then there's like you have to crawl through mud, you have to crawl under barbed wire, you have to climb over stuff. Like there's all this cool things going on. And as you go through that, the goal is to get to the other side, and then you have this rite of passage from boyhood into manhood. All right. Man, I wish I had something like that. And as you watch this race go on, you see a lot of people just kind of breezing right through it. But specifically, there was a person by the name of Hunter. And imagine the first obstacle that there is this thing that you have to climb over. It's like a fence. It's probably like 10, 15 feet tall, which any one of us here can do, by the way. Like it's not like crazy hard, but it's tall. And it's scary. And this kid, Hunter, was not a person in good physical shape. You can tell he was overweight. He has never done sports in his entire life, and he knows that. He knows that about himself, that this is not his strength. I wonder, in your business, do you ever feel like you were maybe not designed to succeed in your business? Do you maybe sometimes compare yourself and you think, well, I can see how they can do well, but how about me? It's my age, it's my lack of social media experience, my lack of context, whatever that it is. Some of you are like, no, I got it. For me, I was like that. I did not think I could do well in a business like this. But anywho, that's who Hunter was. So what happened was he would start to climb. And by the first step, he literally was crying. And it was like one of those demoralizing feelings, right? You got all these men gathering around being like, come on, you got this, man. And he was frozen. It was for a good 5 minutes. So imagine this guy is barely off the ground and he convinced himself that he could not do this. How many times in your business, how many times in your goals have you moved forward and then you froze? Stinking thinking got into your mind. You let the circumstances block your success. Something happened. A prospect didn't get back to you. Somebody joined and quit or returned. Something happened where it paralyzes you and you say, I don't know if I can keep on going on. And I appreciate the vulnerabilities. Well, one thing I realized was this, is that warriors are persistent. Warriors are persistent. Type persistent in the comments below. There's a saying that persistence wears down resistance. Persistence wears down resistance. It's so important to keep on moving forward. And that's the biggest thing. Most of us are not that far from success. Most of us are 3 feet from gold. We're right there. And it's because we let some lie creep in. Well, what happened was this, is that all the men did gather around Hunter, praying over him, supporting him, encouraging him, pushing him. It was probably like 20, 30, 40 people around, and we're just like constantly moving forward, constantly supporting, constantly encouraging. And one thing I'll say about Hunter is he did not get off. He was crying. It's okay to cry sometimes, by the way. If you haven't cried in your business yet, are you really doing your business? Who here has cried at some point on some letdown in your business? Okay, I see Pam's hand. Yes, we've had many of those moments, right? Like, it's okay to have emotion. It's okay to have frustration. It's okay to feel like a failure. It's okay to experience these different things, but it's not okay to linger there. You see, a feeling can be fleeting, but you don't want it to linger to become a personality, right? It's okay to have a negative thought, but not become a negative person. It's okay to quit temporarily, but not to quit eternally. I hope this makes sense, right? These are okay to have. Hunter didn't quit. And after around 5 minutes, it seemed like an eternity, he took the next step. And then he took the next step. And then he took the next step. And I'll tell you, it was not easy. It was like, oh, every step, it seemed like you're dragging yourself out of quicksand. Maybe you've been there before. You feel like every step you have to get up the willpower again just to continue to move forward. But something interesting happened around halfway through the obstacle course. So he got through the hurdles. He started climbing through the barbed wire, under the barbed wire fence. And halfway through, you saw this different spirit come out. This guy that had convinced himself that he was not going to finish this persisted enough. And I saw him at one of the obstacles where usually we'd be like, they're prepping him, encouraging him, be like, you can do this. He moved so fast that we couldn't even see him. We were like, what the heck just happened? He was so bold. He had such a strong attitude. And he missed a hurdle, for example, in the next one. But you could see he's like, whatever, I got this. And he went again, and he went again, and he went again, to the point that he was actually inspiring the other kids now. He was uplifting others. And he's like, I got this. And at the very end, he was the second to last out of probably, I'd call it 300 kids. Second to last to finish. And it doesn't matter if you come in last. You see, there's a saying that you can be a late bloomer or an early bloomer, just bloom. Who here knows that in your goals, as long as you get it, that's what matters, right? Who cares if it takes you 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? Who cares if some people do it in a month and you take a year? It's not about anyone else's race. It's about your own race. But persistence is so important. And I'll tell you this, whose life was probably the most transformed during this event was not the person that came in first. It wasn't the person that was easy. It was for somebody like Hunter, when the trial and the challenge seemed impossible, and yet he persisted. And in fact, it didn't just change his life, it changed mine. And now it changed so many other people as well, too. So, Warrior, I just submit this to you, and I want us to reflect upon how we view our goals. All right, we just finished a whole series of our 10 and 2. Now we're going for the next one. Some of you made it, some of you didn't. What's the attitude? Are we going to lay down and cry about it? Or are we going to be like, no, I'm going to persist. I'm going to keep on moving forward. Maybe you've done it month after month and you continue to miss it. It's okay. Will you continue to persist? Will you finish the race? Because if you're in that category, by the way, when you do achieve it, whenever that is, your life will so be changed because you'll be that hunter story. And if you continue to move on, keep on moving. Absolutely keep on going. But just remind yourself about that. Man, and a 14-year-old kid changed my life because he showed me an aspect of ourselves that we're so lacking in today's society, especially in business. Let's get more persistent with the things that we need to have. Quitting is not an option. Failure is not an option. All we have to do, though, is get another step moving forward. But that's why you're also listening to this now. Sometimes we need others to pick us up. All right. So if that encouraged you, put a me in the comments below. It was absolutely inspiring. And if this did encourage you, by the way, we upload these onto our YouTube podcast. You might want to subscribe to that as well, too. Other than that, let's keep on crushing it. I hope this encouraged you for your business and your life. Let's unleash that inner warrior so you can be the leader that you were meant to be.